make a citation. Yes. And in between, I had many questions in the chat box to which I answered many questions. For example, one person asked the differences between writing for an article, writing for a journal paper, writing for a book chapter, and writing for a conference. Yes. Fine. Now, today, the final day, I just thought I would throw light on how you have to choose your guide. Okay. How you have to choose your PhD guide. So, we will have a discussion on this today. So, choosing a good PhD guide or a PhD advisor or a PhD supervisor is one of the most critical decisions in all of our academic journeys. You agree or not? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, because some have already done a blunder in doing it, and we are struggling in that phase. We are struggling in the journey because there are now once you choose your research guide, it's like you are getting locked. You're getting locked. It's just like choosing your spouse, just like getting into a wedding, because it's going to be say a 5-year term plan where you have to finish off. When you come out, you must have a PhD degree. That's more important. So there comes a point where you have to be very, very clear as to what are the adjustments that you are going to make. Okay, where all you're going to adjust and what type of adjustments you are going to make, what type of compromise you're going to make. All these will, like it is purely based on your decision making skill. Okay. Now, a good advisor, for example, a good supervisor, a PhD guide, can shape your research career. So in case if you say like, sir or ma'am, this is my area of interest, how do I proceed? They will shape you, they will mold you so that uh, you know where to focus. That's very, very important. And they will provide you a very strong, dependable, reliable mentorship. Mentorship not only professionally but also personally. Okay, because when we do commit ourselves to PhD, many of the guides they expect that we give our heart, body, mind, and soul to the whole research, which is quite impossible. Maybe for men it can be possible. For women, we are already mentally married to many, many things at home. Okay, we have home management, we have PhD in hand, we have kids, or maybe you may be in the family way. Okay, you are trying to balance, and you're like you're what should I say? Just like a clown, we keep juggling things. In other words, we just slog. That's the truth. That's the truth. So, a good PhD guide, he or she must be able to understand the personal challenges that his or her candidate faces. That's quite important. You cannot say, what if there are problems at home? Why you're not able to focus on PhD? Okay, all these are like quite, they're all a part of your life. This cannot be segregated just because you're doing your PhD. Many problems turn up. For example, handling your children or leaving your kids at the daycare or leaving your kids at home with your in-laws, problem with your mother-in-law. Okay, all this are there. So you need a guide who can also understand your personal challenges. Okay, now, and also support your professional growth. Professional growth. What do you mean by professional growth? What do you mean by professional growth? Any one of you can answer? Are you there here listening to me?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Deep silence. It looks like everyone has got a very good guide. Yes, that's what you're revealing. Your silence is revealing. That's good. See, professional growth is, let me be very frank while I talk. Don't choose a guide who's jealous of you. Okay, you have come to finish off your PhD. So, in this term of period of 4 years or 5 years, you are building your CV. I won't say it as professional growth or professional career. We will put it this way. You are building your CV. That is the right term. You're building your CV so that once you finish your Viva OC examination of your doctoral dissertation, you get a very great job at a great place, of which the guide must be very, very proud about. He or she can raise the collar and say, my candidate is working at IIT Madras. My candidate is working at NIT Trichy. This must be a feather in the cap, an added feather to the guide's cap. So the guide must be like so very humble to accept a candidate who is much, much more intelligent than him or her, who is very much interested in your growth, who's ready to accept that you are building your CV. In case if they don't accept you, if they're like very jealous, what do you think are the problems that you will face? For example, I have a candidate, okay, she's very intelligent, okay. She has got that flair of writing, that blend of research. But I'm like very jealous of her. I feel like, what if she grows more than me? Why should I finish off the PhD early and give it to her? What are the conflicts that I and the candidate will face, or how she will suffer? No support from guide when he feels jealous. Yeah. So naturally, there will be no support from the guide when the guide feels jealous. And all of your works, whatever the candidate does, it will be very sharply criticized. So the candidate will become very demotivated and also keeps postponing, right? If she comes and submits a paper and asks for correction, you come next week. You come 2 weeks after. I have a marriage. I have a personal work. What are you writing? What blunder you have writing? Nothing, no proper writing at all. What are you reading? Go to the library and read for another 1 month and come. If you're writing like this, when will you finish your PhD? When will your papers get published? And asking permission to attend a conference. Why you are attending a conference and all? No need. You first do your finish of your coursework. Not giving permission, not allowing the person to grow. So all these are very quite common problems that the candidates are facing now. You understand? Yes. So you have to choose a guide who supports when you are ready to build your CV. That's a major thing. Now I will discuss a few key factors. I think Janki ma'am has also shared it with you. In case if you have chosen, nothing can be done now. Or if you are ready to choose now. In case if you are about to choose now, I can give you a few tips. First is research fit. What do you mean by research fit? See, as I told you before, your area of interest is very, very clear now. You know what's your area of interest, yes? So just check if your guide guide's area of interest also aligns with your area of interest. Go through their CV, their publications, their writings, their ongoing projects or patents or whatever they have. Learn first, know who your guide is professionally, who your guide is. Many guides say my area of expert is ELT. But after registration, you will come to know that your guide doesn't know anything about ELT, which means you cannot blame the guide now. You didn't do a background check. It's your mistake. So if they say ELT, type their name in the Google. You need not do any this kind of CBA work and all. No. Type their name in the Google. Immediately you will get their profile, their CV. They are available on LinkedIn. Everywhere now profiles are available. It's not like old generation. You can find about anyone, anywhere, anytime. It's possible. So look out for it and check and see what are their publications, where they have published, in which journals they have published. Okay, this is very, very important. And check if they work on cutting edge problems in your area of, like, if they can really contribute to your research. That is the first thing that you need to check. Second is reputation and track record. This is like, the very much same point. You look at their publication record, the citation count, and impact in the field. Check the success of their previous PhD students, placement, publications. Ask current and former students about their experience. So once you check their CV, curriculum vitae, their profile, your second job is you try to meet their current students. Current students is in the case like those PhD students who have registered some 6 months back under the same guide, or 1 year back under the same guide. Or if your guide is very much like experienced, definitely he would have got some passed out PhD students. So you do research on them, you dig out that data, that background information, background check you have to do. Okay, like 3-4 scholars I have finished. They have finished their PhD. He or she is working there. One is working at SRM University, one is working at Satyabama. Try to contact them and ask about the guide. You can openly ask about the guide. There's nothing wrong. So like sister or brother, I have plans of starting my PhD journey under this particular guide. I heard that you have finished your research under him or her. Could you just tell me, guide me as to if it's wise to choose him or her? You openly ask and you gather the feedback. Don't decide anything, gather the feedback. The third point is availability and mentorship style. What is this? Availability and mentorship style. Say at times you register your PhD under a particular guide. Okay. Just check. Yes. Now, when it comes to point 2, you can ask as many questions as you want to your seniors. What type of guide is the person? Okay. Is the person really knowledgeable? Are they really helpful? Are they good at publication? About their personal life also, you must definitely know. Okay. All these things you know. And third is availability. Availability is, say, for example, my students joined PhD here in the month of January. So now it's almost the fag end of March. How many times have I met my scholars in this gap of 2 months 3 months exactly? Okay. Do I conduct meetings often? Do I meet them often? Am I updated as to what they are at the university? They are taking up their coursework. They go to regular classes. So are they taking up tests? Are they making any presentations? Are they doing their assignments regularly? Are they reading books in the library? Are they visiting the library? What is their biometric punch? At what time each candidate enters the university and leaves the university? Is my candidate sitting here for a long time and reading in the library? All these things I have to be updated. And whenever my scholar, like maybe through a WhatsApp message or by a call, says, "Ma'am, I would like to meet you today," do I say, what do I say? Yes, I'm available. So what I do is I have created a group where I have posted my workload. My timetable is there with them. So when the class is there, I won't be available here in the cabin. All the rest of the time, I'll be here in the cabin, so they can meet me anytime. Okay. So that's how I deal with my scholars. So your willingness to meet your candidates regularly, how does it go? How does it go? So all these things we have to check. And when a candidate brings a paper, okay, what is the time that I take to correct and give it back with corrections, with reviews, with feedback? All these matters. Okay. And next is number 4, funding and resources. Ensure they have grants of funding for research projects. Check if they can support conference travel and research expenses. Look at the lab and department's overall financial health. Okay. This is a very different point, but what I would say is, see, the guide cannot give you any money or any kind of funding support. It's all about the organization where you are registering. So when you register, check if your university or your college has got that brand name and has got all the facilities inside. A good library, okay, a system where you can sit and work, a net facility, lab if you belong to physics, chemistry, sciences, you have to do some experiments in the lab. If they support field work, if it's social sciences or humanities, you want to go out and interview someone, can you apply OD? Are you given on duty? Okay, all these things you can check. And number 5, work environment and group culture. Okay, what is work environment and group culture? Investigate the lab dynamics and working culture. Talk to current PhD students about collaboration and work-life balance. See, work environment and group culture is also check if the advisor fosters a supportive and respectful environment. Fine. So this will come under, so if we take one guide as far as VAT is concerned, a guide can handle 6 candidates at a time. Okay, not more than 6. Or if the guide feels 6 is too heavy, they can just pertain to 1 or 2 and say like they can try it the next lot. All these are like the rights that are available here. So if I'm going to take all 6 candidates, I have 6 candidates. See, the first thing that you can do is you create a WhatsApp group where all your communication can take place. Okay. Don't ever encourage candidates to talk through individual messages. Don't ever do that. Let all your communication be open. Show it in the group. Ma'am, can I meet you today? Ma'am, I have done a paper. I need correction. When can we meet? I have some doubts to clarify. When can we meet? When are you available? There's a conference coming up. This is the brochure, ma'am. I am interested in attending this. I feel I can establish more contacts. Can I get your permission? Ma'am, I'm not keeping well today. I'm applying CL. Kindly approve. Whatever communication it may be, ask them to post, or you, if you're a candidate, please post it in the group. Now, why I am stressing that you maintain a group is that individual messages cannot be tracked in future. Actually, individual messages are nothing but individual threads. Okay, individual threads. You cannot, for example, if in the future there is some kind of a miscommunication, she says, "Ma'am, I didn't ask you for a leave, but you have approved it on the website. I didn't apply." So all these kind of miscommunication, okay, you perceived it somehow or they talked in a different way, all these can happen. So if the communication is open and when it is witnessed by everyone, a large group, it's always safe. And you can also track back your communication when it comes to a group. Whereas individual messages, you cannot track it back. It's hard, it's tough. That's what I mean. Okay. So maintain a group. And whenever you call for meetings, see to that all your candidates, if you have 6 candidates, let all the candidates come for the meeting and talk to them individually. So that if you want to have a personal chat, ask the rest of the 5 to wait. So always promote this kind of work culture, a healthy environment for them to work. Let them also have some kind of relaxation. For example, if they want to have a lunch outside, okay, they bring lunch every day, but maybe once in a month they want to have lunch outside. Allow your candidates to go out lunch. Maybe you can give 1 hour of permission. Let them go out, have lunch together, and come back. So that like they get relieved of their stress. They feel relaxed. Okay, that's what I mean. And last is number 6, career development and networking. Consider if they help students build professional networks. Check if they support students in attending conferences and publishing papers. Ask if they provide career guidance for academia or industry. So this is very, very vital, just like how you finish your PhD. See, when you mostly at times what happens is the guide herself or himself, they send brochures on conferences, workshops, seminars that come their way, and it is being posted in the group. That's how I deal with this. Okay, whatever brochures, call for proposals, call for book chapters come, I post it in the WhatsApp group. So it's not like forcing anyone. It's being posted. If you're interested, you can work on it. That's all. You understand? So when it is posted, and if the candidate says that she or he is interested in attending a conference, see to that your guide immediately says a yes. Because more than presenting a paper in a conference, you have many, many benefits when you attend a conference, especially if you are a novice, if you are a beginner in your profession. You will be able to establish a lot of contacts when you attend a conference. Okay. For example, just type it out. Yes. So you can establish contact with them. You can have a look at the chat box. So these are the various benefits that you will find when you attend a conference. Speakers, guests, plenary speakers, organizers, committee, and the college or the university which is organizing that, scholars from other colleges, just like you, many who have come, your seniors, your juniors, subject experts, especially IITs, NITs. So you have this many options when you attend a conference. So how you have to be when you go for a conference? You must have attended many conferences by now. Yes? Yes or no? So how you must be when you go for a conference? Please respond.
Open for their feedback.
Okay, this is like after you make your presentation. Okay, after you present your paper, you'll be getting reviews, you'll be getting feedback from the speakers. Okay. What I'm asking is, I have listed down many advantages.
To expand our horizons, madam. The
So,
area.
okay, to expand your horizons, how you must be? You must be ready to voluntarily go and introduce yourself. Remember, no one will come and ask your name, where you are from. No, you are a budding PhD scholar. You are still in the learning phase. You have not established yourself. So you have to voluntarily go to the organizers, the committee members, the guest speakers or the plenary speakers, your juniors, seniors, whoever it may be, subject experts, and you have to introduce yourself. So how you will introduce yourself? How you will do this introduction? So you'll tell your name, where you're from, and you will say that you are pursuing your PhD on this particular topic, and this is my area of interest. So they will reply to you. Then you can get their details. You can get their phone number, email ID. Okay. If possible, if time permits, especially during the lunchtime, if you can even sit and talk about this topic. Okay. With the speaker for almost 10 to 15 minutes, if it permits. You can also ask to the people to whom you talk. If you come across any brochures, any conference, book conferences, international conferences, or any journals where papers can be published, please do communicate. So you have to be very gentle and humble while you talk. Only then they will be ready to help you. Remember, you have not established yourself. You are in the process of doing it. So you have to voluntarily go and start the chat. So which means you have to be very, very open, very social when it comes to a conference. If you are going for a conference today, your only aim is you're going to see as to how many contacts you're going to create today. That's the major outcome of attending a conference rather than presenting a paper. How many of you agree with this?
Yes, madam.
Okay, yes. So with these, you can just ask the next question. What will we do with these contacts? These contacts can help you largely in many ways that you cannot even think. So what are the ways? For example, they may suggest even an external examiner for your Viva OC examination, or they may become your DC member. And don't ever load the PhD guide to choose DC members. And DC members, you take care. You can suggest DC members, no harm in that. Choosing or not choosing is the guide's discretion, that he or she will do. But you can say, like, I went to a conference, ma'am. I came in touch with this professor. He was so very knowledgeable. He was very kind. And this is his contact. If possible, like, we can even use him as our DC member, ma'am. Just stop there. That's all. Rest, the guide will decide. Okay. So that is why I'm saying or stressing that you expand your circle. Build in more contacts. Last month, I went to an international conference. The international conference at IIT Madras, it happened for almost 3 days. I got 90 contacts. Great. 90 contacts is a good thing. And one more thing is, many of us, what we do is, once the job is done, we don't stay in touch. That's another problem. Another problem of Indians, I would say. Yes. Whenever we have a need, we contact people. Job is done, cut it off. Yes, you taper it. The professor I met in the conference, he agreed to be my DC member. He supported me throughout my PhD journey. I finished my PhD. I finished my Viva. That's all. There is nothing to talk to him. No, what to talk? No, don't be like that. Don't be like that. Don't do that. At least once in a while, just like, for example, a New Year wish, a Christmas wish. A new academic year is starting up. Send a message. Send a message. You voluntarily do it. Don't expect others to come and talk to you when it comes to academics. No one will do. Sir, I finished my Viva, sir. I have got placed at NIT Trichy. I have got a place as assistant professor at IIT Madras. You were so very supportive to me at that time. So if any conferences or let's see if there is any opportunity we can collaborate. Such lines, just put such lines in your chat. Who knows, he will be ready for a collaboration. He may suddenly say, ma'am, sir, can we do a project together? Can we do a patent together? All of a sudden you can get a message. I know that you have finished your Viva OC. There is a job opening there. I'll recommend you. Will you be taking up an interview tomorrow? Who knows? The doors may open at any time. The doors may open at any time. You have to be ready for that. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay? Yes? So this is what it means about career development and networking. Next is personality and compatibility. What is personality and compatibility? So check if you feel very comfortable with the guy. Okay? Like your normal self. When you talk, when you communicate, when you discuss, like you have to be at peace with your guide. You need not like strain yourself and show a very different person in front of your guide. No. Also consider their attitude towards constructive criticism. What do you mean by constructive criticism? What's the meaning of that?
Saying something in a positive way where change is required.
Okay. Okay. Then what is, it's not typing. Okay. Then what is criticism, by the way? What is criticism then?
Negative perspective.
Now, if I ask my engineering students in class, what is criticism? They immediately say, ma'am, if you scold us, it is criticism. If you scold us, it is criticism. If you say something bad, it is criticism. No. Criticism is, I say something so that there is chance for you to improve. There is chance for you to improve. That is criticism. And what is constructive criticism? Constructive criticism is, I give a feedback wherein the feedback involves both positive as well as negative points. Say this FTP was very beautifully constructed. Miss Janki did a great job. She was so very accommodating. Okay, this is the positive side which the organization, with which the global university can be very happy about. Yes. Yes. At the same time, I say, I would have been all the more happier if the participants had been more, what should I say, communicative. They would have communicated more with me. I expected more questions from them. So I'm saying it very gently, but I'm also touching up the negative side. This is called a constructive criticism. So while I give a constructive criticism, I give both the pros and the cons, the plus and the minus. I'm supplying it. So your guide must be of such a person who gives you a constructive criticism. Just imagine a guide who always appreciates you. Ah, super, besh, great paper. To communicate, it will get accepted. Don't worry, we will finish the DC meeting next week. Don't worry, Viva will be conducted. You give a talk, I'll see to it. How will you feel? All positive only, nothing negative at all. Always motivating you, always appreciating you. If you're going to get a guide of that sort, you will become overconfident. You will become overconfident, and you'll be totally unaware of your limitations, of your drawbacks, of your negatives. Yes or no? And also imagine a
Yes,
guide,
ma'am.
and also imagine a guide who always says the negative side of yours, highlights the negative side. What paper you have written? No language, nothing. Lot of grammar mistake. Huh? What's your area of interest? What did you learn in UG? BC meeting and all, I cannot conduct it now. You will see after 3 months. I don't know how you are going to complete your thesis. I think you will take another 1 decade for finishing up your Viva. No papers, no publication. What's the use of going to conferences and all? Utter waste. Why you people all come and register for PhD? You're literally killing me, torturing me. Go. What to do with this paper? Get lost. How will you feel? So all the words that have been used now, torturing, killing, okay? Why you people come and do your PhD? What's the use of attending conferences? No publication. You will finish your PhD only after a decade. This turns out to be a mental trauma. You're already like, you feel dejected. Okay, you're already desperate because there is no publication. You're all trying to write. When you get such words from your guide, you become all the more worse. You get demotivated. There is no push at all. There is no push behind you. You get a very low self-esteem. You stop respecting yourself. You do not know what to do, how to proceed, where to move. You feel lost. You understand? So always choose a guide who, even if they're going to tell about your negative side, let them tell it very gently. Okay? Gently. Do it very, very gently so that you're able to like grasp it and you change it. Institutional and departmental factors. And here also comes a word like consider their attitude towards conflict resolution. So even if there is any kind of a fight between the candidates, between the PhD scholars, the faculty has to be ready to resolve it. Okay, that's what I mean. Institutional and departmental factors. Okay, this at all, it comes under facilities. Okay, the facilities that the college or the university offers. So these are all different criteria or points that you need to keep in mind while deciding your grade. And above all, there are certain things that have to be talked very frankly on this platform. There are a few PhD guides who take their scholars for granted. For example, they use the scholars for some of their personal needs as well. So this could be called exploitation. Exploitation, okay? I have typed double L, sorry about that, exploitation. So this could involve many things like, I'm just typing out the various forms of exploitation which you can identify. So when it comes to the university, the college where you work, these are the possible identified exploitation that a few guides are still doing. Taking classes. Now, if it's like, for example, I have class today at 8 o'clock, I send my scholar. Is it ethically right? It's ethically right? Right or wrong? Hello?
Wrong, ma'am, wrong.
Hmm. Okay. So asking, sending them, or when I get like their continuous assessment test papers, asking the candidates to correct, you evaluate and put the mark. Okay. Or giving any of my professional work to the candidates is ethically wrong, and this is identified as one form of exploitation. Okay. Coming up to the personal side, so this is the other side. The other side is the guide asking the candidate to buy vegetables for his or her house. Okay, buy fruits, buy this non-veg and come on Sunday. Get things from the canteen, ordering something and getting it from the hotel, sending the candidate. Or at times, most severe and very vulnerable form of exploitation is calling the candidate to the house and asking them to clean the house, clean the toilets, mopping, do cobwebbing. Okay, so these are all worst and severe form of exploitation which you can raise a complaint. And as we obviously know, there are also different forms of abuse, which once again you can raise a complaint against. Yes, and it will be dealt very severely. You need to be very, very bold when you're doing this or when you're making this complaint. Okay, you need not be afraid, because many times what happens is the victims, we get a feeling as if we have done a mistake. That is the problem with us. Okay, for example, if I'm undergoing abuse of whatever type it may be, verbal abuse, physical abuse, or sexual abuse, when the guide touches me as I am a PhD candidate, I get a feeling that I am doing a mistake. I have done a mistake. So there is naturally a fear that is revolving me. So I'm very afraid to raise a complaint. Okay, this is something very, I do not know, it is kind of a psychological covering or psychological stigma that the victims get. I do not know why they get that fear factor, but they get it very naturally. So the one thing that you have to be very, very clear is you need not be afraid of anything because you have not done anything wrong. So if you are subjected to this kind of physical abuse, verbal abuse, okay, verbal abuse is openly scolding you with very bad words that involves violence, okay, that are vulgar, or also sexual exploitation, it can be addressed. It can be openly addressed. Okay, you need not bother about that. So these are the things. So what I'm trying to say is, you're all currently PhD scholars, majority of the participants today, yes? And one fine day, you all will become very great PhD guides, supervisors, advisors, yes or no? So when you become a PhD guide, see to that you follow all the points that I discussed now. So when I talk to your PhD candidates, they must say, my guide is the best guide. You must be a human being above all. And you must be a ethical being. That's what I'm trying to say. So thank you very much for the opportunity given, Ms. Janki, Global University and team, and thank you for the support rendered throughout all these 10 days. Coming up to the participants, you were really superb. I enjoyed doing this 10 days of program with you all. It's a great pleasure, and I would also love to meet you in some other program. Stay in touch. I have given you my contact number, my mail ID. Please feel free to reach me anytime. If you have any questions, I'm ready to answer now.